Hello everybody and welcome back to Meeples and Mysteries. My name is Nuno. My name is Johnny. And today we are continuing our top solo board games of all time list. We are doing 20 through 11. This part of the list is quite different from the one before. These games have a lot more plays and have been a lot more present this year for the most part. And they are games that overall I love and play a lot. That compared to the previous list was mostly games that I really enjoyed but I didn't play that much. Just a short disclaimer, if you want to support me and the channel, you have links below for the Ko-Fi link where you can support me directly, or me and my wife's Etsy store where you can buy board game accessories. And disclaimer, a lot of the board games you're going to see on this video, some of them have upgrades, and some of those upgrades we have for sale. We are basically a 3D printing business. With that out of the way, there are chapters below, there are also links for all the games, even though they are all spoiler free. So let's go! Number 20. My number 20 is Dwellings of Elderhood. And what is this game about? This is basically a worker placement, area majority game with tableau building. It's a mix of a lot of stuff. It's mostly an Euro game with some Ameritrash flavor thrown in. This is a game I really love the theme. It's basically about it's a kind of a dark fantasy setting, but there was some kind of apocalyptic event where a man explosion just ruined the whole land and it was all destroyed and dark and giant monsters roamed everywhere. It's basically post-apocalyptic, Godzilla-style thing, but imagine it was Lord of the Rings instead of the normal modern setting. So to me, that's really incredible, that's really cool, even though these are tropes I really know well, they are kind of mixed in a unique way for me, and that just made me want to buy the game. Then the game is mostly an Euro game, which is my favorite and most bought type of game, but it has some Ameritrash and dice shuck throwing in, and I really love that craziness, that randomness in games. I don't want everything to be deterministic. Then there's also the fact that this game has incredible art, a super lavish deluxe production. It's just really crazy, really good. Yeah, I really love this game. I love worker placement games, and this is the one where the theme for me really works, really makes sense. It's the only worker placement game where you're actually putting meeples on, but you're also fighting for places, because if you go to a place where there's already someone, you have to fight for it, and you can't really go to some places, and the way you put your worker placement is mixed with the way you try to conquer places and to the area majority of side of things, where basically sometimes you have to go to other regions and then try to invade those regions to use those actions. It's really crazy. There's a lot of mechanisms mixed together. It's an heavy game, but at the same time I don't think it's the most complicated. The rulebook is quite good, even though it's 30 pages long. It's quite good in my opinion. And yeah, I really love this one. It's a number 20 because I have not played enough. It's a big game, it's heavy, it's hard to bring to the table, it takes some time to set up. And I just love it. And it has a really cool solo mode where you're mostly playing against another opponent, like an automa, but it's also its own specific thing where the specific faction that you fight when you're playing solo is a unique one, which is basically the undead, and they work in different ways, and when their meeples die, they still can fight you. So it's really cool. Even though it's different, it's still the same game, so I really love this one. Yeah, man, not so quick. This game is a lot of lies, man. This game is a bunch of crap, man. You pay a lot. The cover of the game shows you all kinds of monsters like Godzilla, but then you go to the game and the monsters, they're really not that important. They're just there. Sometimes they screw your whole game, and sometimes they don't matter. You just kill them and whatever. So, I don't know, man. I feel like they lied to me. It's kind of true. There's some, I wouldn't say negatives, but this game kind of promises you like big monsters roaming the land, and they end up being a really small part of it. Some games, they will really change the course of the game and be a nuisance to everybody, but other games, they don't really matter that much. They kind of also have the promise that sometimes you can tame these beasts and use them, and that's true, but that's like a super small part of the game. They just become a normal meeple. So there's some things where when you look at it on paper, this seems like, whoa, this is incredible, and then it's not that much. But everything else of the game is incredible. That's just a matter of expectations. They should be a bit more clear that you're playing a worker placement with area majority and that's it, and everything else is just a nice flavor to add, because if you go in believing all that extra stuff that's just a small part of the game, it could disappoint you. Number 19. My number 19 is It Pedal to the Metal. And this is such a cool game. This game is basically about racing. You have a board, you have a car, and you race. And the way you race is kind of not really deck building, it's kind of an end management game, where even though there's some elements of deck building, and you can play a whole championship where you can buy some cards in between and build some cards until at the beginning of the game. But it's basically a really cool racing game. It plays up to 6 or 8 players depending on the expansions you have, and it's just one of the best racing games out there. Ever since it came out, it's been on the top BGG most played games ever. People really love this game. It has an awesome solo mode. It's a really simple to run solo mode where basically every time you play, be it alone or be with friends, you have a solo automa that's not really solo because you can play it with any player count. So every time you're playing, as I said, be it alone, be it with one friend, you always have the full-on 8 cars or 6, depending if you have the expansions or not, racing with you. And that's just incredible. That always makes it feel like a big race. At least I've never played it without that automa. And it makes it so the solo mode is just really cool. I just enjoy it a lot, even though I think it's really hard. It's a game that, despite how simple and light it is, it adds a lot of depth, and it's actually just a tiny bit hard to get to the table. It is a big one, even though it's simple. I think that's the reason I have not played it that much. I also think it's way too hard for beginners. I have still not figured out how to beat the automas in any way. I always come last or close to last. And that's basically it, and I love this one and I really want to play it more. And I do think this game is better with more people, but having a game that you can run just a race against 6 people and do it solo, that's just so cool. Yeah, man, this game's fucking hard. If you want to race and always lose, yeah, just play this solo, man. Incredible. I just love so much, always come in last place. Get a grip, man. Get a grip. Also important, the production of this game is super cool. We are used to it from this publisher, but still, having a game that is not a deluxe edition, it's not a super crowdfunding all-in, and it comes with 4 different racing maps, giant racing maps. It comes with cars. It's just so cool. The box has a really nice insert where you can put everything, even if you're doing one of the campaigns, so to speak, playing a championship. There's places where you can store the cards you're using. Like, everything is accounted for, and it's not just. It would already be an awesome game if it was just racing in the 4 tracks, and each track is really different in the way you have to race it. But not only that, they have a ton of extra stuff that you can throw in, from the weather, from upgrades to the cars. There's just so much in this game. This is like the perfect way to do a game. Straight to retail and with so much stuff, and everything is just such a nice production. I really enjoy this game, and it's a shame I don't play it more. Number 18. My number 18 is Chronicles of Crime, and in this one I'm including most of the Chronicles of Crime's games. I actually have the Chronicles of Crime, the first one, with a couple expansions, and I also have the 1900 edition. That is the one that I'm actually showing in this video and that I've been playing recently. This is just such a cool game. I'm gonna be honest, I thought more about it the first time I tried it. The first time I tried, I was like in love. I would consider this a 10 out of 10. I would never have thought that I could have such an experience in a board game. Now let me tell you what this board game is. This is basically True Crime, the game, where you're actually playing, you're kind of watching a story, you're also deciding things. You use a cell phone and an app. That's important. Some people have prejudice against apps for some reason, but it just works really well. And there's basically, you have a case and a story, and you are the detective. There's a crime that happened, and you can go to locations, talk to people, decide basically who you want to talk to. Everything you do in the game wastes time, and you have a set time to solve the case. Then you can look for clues. You can confront certain characters with certain clues, and that's basically how you progress in the game. One of the coolest parts is that when you get to a crime scene, you can use the app to actually look in 3D for the crime scene, look around in 3D and try to find clues. And then when you do find them, you have to look for the deck, see if there's anything that matches, and then the app will tell you if there's any relation or not. It's just a really cool game. It's not that hard. If you like true crime, you'll love this. There's suddenly moments where you suddenly realize, oh my god, this character, because of saying this, that might mean that she's in love with that character and we didn't even know they're related, so now that changes everything. And yeah, it's just really cool. It's like watching a true crime drama with lots of turns. Yeah, man, it's not that good, man. Sometimes you just get lost for hours and you have no fucking idea what to do just because you forget to show one character that one specific clue, and then you're there like, what the fuck is happening? I have no idea where I have to go. Sometimes you miss something really simple in the app and you're lost there. Yeah, that's true. It's not 100% a perfect game. There's times where you'll just kind of feel lost. It's rare, but it happens. It's kind of this type of game about investigating and true crime that's always bound to happen. But when it happens in this one, and sometimes you just miss the tiny thing in the app or something and it's really, yeah, that happens. Although I'll be real, if you want to do this like a true detective and you want to write down what you're doing and treat this like a real investigation, that's probably not going to happen to you. And this game is just really cool. It plays well solo. It plays well with groups of people. It's just a really cool game. Number 17. My number 17, and this one has surprised me, is Mintworks. I just did a review a short while ago that I then changed for a first impressions review. I changed the title because I was like, no, I didn't try this game enough. This shouldn't be a board game review. It should be a first impressions, because my understanding of this game just changed a lot. But first, what is Mintworks? Mintworks is basically a worker placement, a light worker placement that's inside of a tin box. So it's basically a tin worker placement game that you can take anywhere, teach anybody. At first, I didn't really enjoy it much. I thought, okay, this is not such a good worker placement. I don't love it that much, but it's the only worker placement I can throw in my pocket and just take anywhere. And that for me made the game worth it. But having played it more, and understanding the rules more and the automas more, this game just grew a lot of me. Basically, you're in control of a city, a mint city, and you can build your neighborhood and use mints that you get to take actions, and those actions can be anything from buying plans of buildings to later to build those plans to get more mints. And then the buildings that you buy allow you to either get more mints each turn, so you can do more actions, but they also give you points, so they give you different scoring conditions. It's all pretty light, but it's all pretty interesting. It's a game that you can play anywhere, play with any number of people. And then there's the solo mode, which I didn't appreciate enough at the beginning, but playing it again recently, I just got really hooked. You have various automas that all play different, and they're really cool. If there's one thing I don't love in this game is the rulebook. The rulebook should be a bit more clear on a couple of things. For sure, a short game, but I really love this one. Yeah, man, if you love, playing abstract games and pretending there's a team there, yeah, sure, you can play this. But seriously, man, this game, those mints, like, sometimes the rules just tell you, oh man, yeah, the enemy mints, the solo mints, you should do this with them at the end of the turn, and with your mints you should do that. And I'm like, fucking hell, which mints are theirs and which mints are mine? They're all just fucking mints. How do you tell them apart, man? If you have to note down where you put the mints. Yeah, that's true. That's actually my only complaint with this game, is that sometimes the automas have specific rules, like, all the mints that this automa used this turn, you should do this. And I'm like, looking at the board like, so which mints are theirs and which are mine? Because they're all mints, they're all the same color, you all share the same mint. So that's the only thing I found with the game that's not super ideal. But since you're only playing yourself and one automa, and there's not that many places, if you are aware of it, normally you always know where everything is. So, but yeah, it just surprised me. I just played it a lot recently. I was really hooked just trying to beat the automas one by one, and I'm only halfway there, and I really enjoyed it, and I'll have more playthroughs of this coming forward. Number 16. Escape the Curse of the Dark Temple. And I'm talking specifically about the edition I own, which is the Big Box 2nd edition. And why, do you ask? Because when I first bought this game, I never expected to have it solo. It's one of those games I already have and then realized it has a solo mode, and I tried it. And the thing is, I really enjoyed it, but it was like an experience I had once and I didn't want to have again. The thing is, I played this game solo just to try it out, and I ended up playing almost 10 games in a row, which is really not that much when you consider that each game only plays for 10 minutes maximum. But the thing is, it just gets you really excited and made me just want to try and beat it, and I played it a lot. But after beating it, I was like, okay, I kind of burned out already. I don't want to play this again. It's just the same thing. And with repeat plays, that's what happens with this game. This game just felt like a lot more fun in multiplayer. But the thing is, even the multiplayer suffers from that problem. Whereas a game that you're always doing the exact same thing, looking at the exact same bland art, and I don't really enjoy the art in this game. But the thing is, the special edition with the expansions just make this game so cool, with so much variability, so much thing to do, and you can try all the different types of models that take you back to a lot of movies that you have seen, probably like Indiana Jones. It's just really cool, and it's a really fun multiplayer game. So if you're going for this game and you want to have a real-time experience that you can play over and over again, I advise you to buy the expansions, but since you can't really get them, you should buy this 2nd edition big box. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's really expensive for what it is, so you better play it. But I got ahead of myself. What is this game? This game is basically, I think it was the first real-time game, or basically you or your friends, but let's keep it solo. You're basically on a temple and you have to find the exit. And to find the exit, you have to go through the temple, and you're rolling dice in real time. You have 10 minutes, you have a soundtrack that is playing, and when the 10 minutes reach, you're just going to die if you're not out. And the soundtrack is cool, there's a lot of tense moments, and you're basically rolling dice, and those dice allow you to find new tiles to go into. They also allow you to activate some gems, and you need those gems, because to reach the end and get away safely, you not only have to reach the end, but you need to roll a certain number of keys to open the exit. And the number of keys you have to open is like a big number, and you only have 5 dice. Or in solo, you only have 7 dice. So throughout the game, you also have to be activating some special stuff with special dice combination, where then you can put those gems. And as you put the gems there, there's less gems for you to be able to open the door. So you have to at least do it until you have the same gems as your number of dice or less. And it's a really stressing game, because at various points in the soundtrack, there's countdowns that start, and when that countdown starts, you have to go back to the entrance or you're going to lose a dice. And since there's no, that's like 30 seconds or 40 or something, but in your head, trying to roll dice, you just get lost in the count, and it's so stressful, it's so fun. It's a really specific game. You have to like stress and to have fun with stress to play this, but it's a really cool game. Yeah, man, I do have some problems with this game, man. The solo mode makes this game way too easy, and you really have to try and play in expert mode. Yeah, that's true. The first time I played this, I actually didn't realize that the solo mode had a different rule to where to put the exit, and I had a lot of fun, but once I realized that it's easier for solo mode than it should, because you're playing it alone, but it just made the game too easy. And that's for solo and 2 players. So what I did is that now I play in expert mode, which makes the game harder by having more gems, and for me the game is fun again. So this is a really specific one. It's one I never expected to like that much, but ever since getting the expansions, I've just been really having a blast playing it, and it's a game that you can play so fast. It's just really cool. Number 15. Number 15 is a weird one for me. This is Dorf Romantic Sakura. And this game is a tile-laying game. It's a cozy tile-laying game, where it's a weird one for me, because I don't think that this game offers a lot strategically. You have it's not really hard to figure out the best way to play this and to be efficient with it. And this is a campaign game where it asks you to play several games, and it's really easy after a few games to figure out how exactly you should do things. So sometimes, even though it has some strategy, you can if you play this a lot, you kind of turn your brain on and you just play. So that's why it's weird for me, because it's a game I wouldn't think would be engaging at all, but somehow it works. Somehow it kept me hooked. And for a couple of days, I played like 12 games in the campaign in a row, and that was amazing for me. But it's also a weird one, because recently I just been feeling less like playing it. But I still have to account that this is one of the games I played the most this year. This is one of the games when I played it in the beginning, I just wanted to play it again and again and again. And because of that, I have to put it here. Even though my opinion of it now has come a lot down, my opinion of it when I first bought it and played it was amazing. And some people are totally going to love this. This is a game that you can have fun, you can build something that actually looks good, and you can also just turn off your brain, but if you don't want to, you can also have a challenge. And then it's a campaign game where you also always have new things to discover, new things to add to the game, and that's cool. That's cool if you enjoy, just reading stupid rules, man. There's way too much shit that this game adds, and it's always super small things like, man, do I need 30 cards every time I play this campaign just to read some small stupid rule, man? Couldn't they have done it in another way? Jesus Christ. Yes, there's some problems with this game that if you're playing the campaign, even though it's a really simple and light game, you end up unlocking so many different things that they all come in these little cards. And even though it's light, you do have to remember, like, okay, let's look at these 30 cards and read every single small rule so I remember the best way. So that could be a problem for some people, but at the same time, it's not really that important. You can just give a light read, you'll remember most of it, and even if you forget some of them, it doesn't matter, you're still playing, you're still having fun. This is a game where you don't lose, you just do your best score and then use that score to advance in the campaign, and that's just really cool. It just works, this won a ton of prizes and I think it really deserves it. It's also a game I just played solo. I normally don't like these co-ops, because if you really want to be efficient, you're not going to like that everyone's just taking their own way of building stuff, you're not doing the best score. But even so, I imagine that as a co-op, this still works, because you don't lose. You are always advancing either way, so that makes it that you really don't care for winning, and you can just have fun and have a chill experience, see how much you do, and see what new things come out and that you unlock. So, really cool game. For me, number 15. Quick disclaimer though, I'm including Dorfromantik, the original one, in this list too, even though I've never played it. I can basically just tell by playing this one that they're basically the same game, they just have some small differences in the cards that you discover and how they score, but it's basically the same game, and if you want to try it, just buy the edition that you think looks best. I bought this one because I'm a sucker for Japanese culture, and this one looks Japanese while the other one looks Western, but it's basically the same thing. Number 14. Number 14, it's Marble United. And Marble United is also a weird one for me. It's a game when I first bought, I didn't really enjoy it that much. It just looked so simple, like you had no agency, and then also super hard, and I did not understand it, but I was also playing it cooperatively. And later, I tried it solo, and the game started to click, and I started to have a lot of fun. This is a game that you can easily just get into the team, especially if you love Marvel and if you know the characters, and you can just get into the team and have fun, and it definitely has some depth for how simple it is. It's a game that you can actually also play co-op with anybody, and it's a game that has just grown a lot of me. Some people don't like it for how simple it is, but if you were able to turn that prejudice off on your head and just play it, you'll find that this is a really fun game with a lot of different challenges. And I'm including in Marvel United, I'm including all the Marvel Uniteds. I have quite a lot of them and they are basically all the same. But this is basically a game where there's a ton of locations around the table and you have characters. You play this multi-handed, by the way, if you're playing it solo. There's other modes, but the multi-handed one is the best one. And because it's a simple game, you can easily play this multi-handed, but just a warning, because some people are against multi-hands for some reason. Just imagine you have a bigger deck and it's all one hand, okay? But this basically, you have a ton of locations, you have some characters with really nice miniatures that can move on them, and then you have each location has like a thing you have to solve or an enemy that can hit you, and then there's a main villain that is also going around the board and can also hit you. and normally you have to do certain things before you can hit the villain. And the way you play it is with a deck of cards that you shuffle, and then every turn you take some cards and use them to either move, solve problems, or hit villains. And that's basically it. It's super simple, it's super fun. The villain is run by like an automa deck, and it just works really cool. And another thing is that this game, it just works in so many ways. If you get the base box, yeah, it's just a cooperative game that works really well and really simple, that you can also play with children but have fun. But if you start trying the other boxes, there's like so many things. Like one of the players can be the villain and play the others. You can play as teams. There's like so many ways of playing this game, and they all work so well that it's just so surprising. This is a really good design for how light it is that we really have to appreciate. So, my number 14, Marvel United. Number 13. Number 13 is another big surprise for me. This is The Walking Dead Surrounded, a button-shy wallet game. And why is this surprising? I initially bought this game because I thought, what the hell, this game is really cheap, I enjoy button-shy games, and this one is the only one that has a theme that I enjoy, like zombies. In this case, it's the IP of The Walking Dead, but doesn't matter, it's zombies, it's the apocalypse. And this game basically plays really similar to the Sprawlopolis games. This is basically a tile-laying game in card format, where basically you have your deck of cards, and each card has two sides. There's the location side, where there's a location, and there's the occupant side, where basically it has four sides where there could be humans or zombies. And the way you play is that you take a card, decide which side you're going to use, and you lay it on the table, and you have to lay them in a way that they are all connected, and they are always in like a chess pattern, where no two locations can be adjacent, or occupants can be adjacent in a cross pattern. So you always have to interchange locations and occupants. And once you have used all the cards and you have a tableau of cards in your play area, you're going to score them. And they basically score by how each location will score based on the characters that are around them. Like if there's more zombies than humans around it, that location is going to lose you points. But if there's more humans, you're going to earn points. And the thing is, this game, even though it's like the Sprawlopolis games, is really, really simple. When on paper, it really looked too simple. And when I read reviews for it, most people were just like, this game is kind of too simple, it's too easy. And I only bought it because of being cheap and having the Walking Dead theme. And I was like, maybe if I enjoy the theme, this is so... And I even thought, let's just buy it for the channel, why not? And the thing is, I actually enjoyed this a lot more than I would. I'm actually thinking, as I play this game, it could definitely leave my top in the coming year, depending on how it goes, but I also see it just replacing Sprawlopolis for me. Because the thing is, the Sprawlopolis games, for how simple they are, sometimes they are quite complex. Depending on the 3 rules that you have for scoring, sometimes it's just something easy, that you read it and you are, okay, let's play. But other times you're like, Jesus Christ, how am I going to do this? And you need to lose some minutes to play. So for such simple light games, sometimes they are complex. And this one, being simple, actually works in its favor. Because if I want to play a quick game with no setup that I don't have to think much, this just fits the bill better than Sprawlopolis. And actually as a theme, I enjoy more. So this was a really surprising one. I did not think it would be as fun as it is. But it is fun. It is really fun laying the cards, and you have some small abilities that you can use to trade them around. It's really cool. It's also cool that for such a small game, you actually have a book of missions where you're not only trying to score points, but you're actually trying to do specific tasks while playing. And that's really cool. Even though, for what I've played until now, I think I played a couple of times the first missions. They are pretty simple on what you have to do. So I have not explored most of the game yet on that aspect, but it's just so simple that it's just replaced Sprawlopolis for me. Sprawlopolis and the other games are still really cool. I still really love them. But lately I've just been playing this a lot more and been enjoying it a lot. And once I get through the whole book, then I'll probably be like 50 plays in, so that will be already a lot of value for a game this cheap, but only then will I know if this will be replayable and if this will keep on the list for the years to come. But number 13, The Walking Dead Surrounded, really surprised me. Number 12. Number 12 is Cascadia. This is just a really cool game. It's a game that honestly I have not played that much just recently, even though it's one of the games I played the most this year. It's just because I've been playing other puzzle games and I'm still not sure where I am, like in a couple of years which one will be in the top and which ones I'll be playing more and less. But right now, Cascade is just a game that it works really well at every play count. It is a charming game. And the solo mode, it plays just like the other modes. You don't have to run anything. You can just enjoy building your tableau. And for solo mode, you actually have challenges. The game gives you a set of challenges that you have to go over to win that game. And just makes it really fun for me. I don't love just playing an automa, I don't love just beating your score, and this way where you have challenges is just really cool. But what is Cascadia? Basically, it's a tile-laying game where you're building Cascadia and you can score points depending on how big some regions are. But then you also have animals that you put on those regions. And the way that you draft locations and animals, you always draft them in pairs of two. So there's always like a really strategic choice on what pair you want to get, because you can never get the perfect pair. Sometimes you want the location, sometimes you want the animal, and you always have to pick and choose where you go. So that's a really interesting strategic decision. This game, for how cozy it is, it's actually quite challenging when you get to the higher challenges in this game, the solo scenarios. It becomes quite hard and it could be really tense when you're playing this solo. But I really enjoyed it, it's really charming, it's not my type of theme and game, but I just enjoy it and played it a lot, and I have to give kudos where kudos are to be given. This is just a really nice one. Number 11. Now, number 11, I even debated where to have it. And I'm not sure this game will be here next year, because I'm hoping I find better experience at solo, but number 11 is Scythe. And Scythe is a really cool game. It's a game I came really late on, I only got it this year. It's a game I loved and I got everything I could, all the extras I could and expansions for it, and it's a really cool game. And it does play solo. And the solo experience sometimes is awesome, but it's also plagued by having a really hard automa to run. And as I said, I don't love games where you're just playing an automa that pretends to be a player. And in this one, you're basically doing that, and that automa doesn't play exactly as the player, but you still have to play for it, and it has a lot of work. So that's the one downside, even though this game sometimes is amazing. And like, I think one of the best games I played this year that I love the most, if I'm going to tell you the single play I love the most, I think it was a play of Scythe. But still, that doesn't always happen, and all the work, sometimes you feel like you're working in between your plays just to play the automa, so that's why it's not at number 1 or 2. Yeah, man, you just need like 3 different ChatGPT accounts just run the automa, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. You know? Because I want to like this game, man, you know, fucking up Europa, you know, destroying people in Europa, that's my jam, man, that's my jam. Like, you Europeans, man, you went everywhere in the world and you just fucked this shit up, you know, it's your time, but then, fucking hell, this is so hard to run, this automa, man, just give us a better automa, man, give us a better automa, man, let me destroy Europa free, in peace. So that's basically it. These were the 10 games for this edition. Next week, we're going to have the last 10, the best solo board games of all time, in my opinion. Considering all that I've played, that's not that much, that's why it's only 30. But yeah, this list features some games I've been really loving. Most of them are puzzles, but some of them are also like really unique experience. It's just games I really love and I think are really worth it. And that's it for this one. Let me know if you enjoy these games, if there are games here you don't enjoy. What's your opinion on this all solo board games of all time list? I'm going to be honest, this is my favorite type of video. When I first started the hobby, I was just watching top board game lists for months and months. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this list. Yeah, man, this list is crap. Thank you, John. If you enjoyed this list, and we'll be here next week with the final 10. And that's it. Play more games and stay awesome.